doubt has the ability to stop the miracle, to stop the promise, and we don't have any time for that, okay? So we're kicking that doubt out, and we're going to catch back up with Jairus once again. He's standing there on the road with Jesus, okay? And Jesus just finished performing another miracle with the woman with the issue of blood, and while Jairus is standing there, once again, somebody came from Jairus' house and said, hey, Jairus, hey, it's too late, man. Your daughter is dead, okay? Don't bother Jesus. He's got more important things to do. Your daughter is already dead. Don't trouble the master. And right there, I love it because Jesus is so awesome, and he knows the weight of those words, and he knows what those words can do to Jairus. He knows what those words can do to the faith of Jairus. Okay? And so I love the response of Jesus, and this is where we're going to zero in on, because we've got to respond this way all throughout our life, all throughout our journey, when we're believing God for something and some negativity tries to creep in. Jesus gives us the best example, I believe, that we can practice and we can follow and when we're on our journey and when we encounter something that's anti the promise that we're believing God for. Once again, when they said, Jairus, your daughter is dead, I love the response of Jesus in Mark chapter 5, verse 36. This is so awesome. You're going to love this. Get ready. Once again, we're in the Amplified version. It says, overhearing but ignoring what they said, Jesus said to the ruler of the synagogue, do not be seized with alarm and struck with fear. Only keep on believing. Wow, that is so powerful. Here's the deal. Jesus never addressed the people that came from Jairus' house and said, hey, Jairus, your daughter is dead. Jesus never even spoke to them. He never even acknowledged them, okay? It says he overheard them deliver the news to Jairus. And Jesus looked at Jairus and said, hey, man, just keep on believing. Jesus ignored those words of doubt and looked at Jairus and said, just keep on believing. And I believe that's a word for somebody today. Maybe you were believing God for something and somebody told you otherwise, or somebody sowed a seed of negativity into you, words of negativity, words of doubt, and then you started thinking otherwise. No. Hear the words of Jesus. Jesus ignored the naysayers. He ignored the words of doubt. And you are empowered today to ignore any words of doubt that will come your way, your situation, that try to steal the blessing and steal the miracle that God has in store for you. Today, you are empowered to ignore that and keep on believing, because that was the words of Jesus. Looked at Jairus after he overheard what the people said. He ignored them and told Jairus to keep on believing. Somebody receive that today. Jesus is telling you, no matter what the situation is, what you've heard, what's been spoken over you, what's been spoken to you, no matter how you feel, keep on believing, okay? Keep on believing. And so as he looked at Jairus and keep on believing, verse 37, it says, and he permitted no one to accompany him except Peter and James and John as they went into the house of Jairus. Now, that's a whole nother message in itself, because Jesus made sure he had the right people with him, okay? He had the right people, full of faith, okay? He didn't want to bring doubt into the situation. He didn't want to bring unbelief into the situation. And so he kept a few close people that were full of faith that were going to go in and believe for the miracle that he knew he was about to do. So once again, he permitted nobody to go with him except Peter, James, and John. And when he had gone inside, he said to the people, why do you make an uproar and weep? The little girl is not dead, but sleeping. And they laughed at him. Here's the deal. Jesus walked into the house. This is so cool. He walks into the house. People are crying, they're wailing, they're beside themselves. And Jesus is like, hey, why y'all crying? The girl's not dead, she's just asleep. And all of a sudden, they went from crying to laughing. They begin to laugh at Jesus, okay? And so I love what he does. The very next thing he does, and this is the power of this message, and hopefully this is the word that you take hold of, because the very next thing he does, he didn't sit there and try to have a conversation with them. He didn't try to negotiate. He didn't try to plead them to start believing. The very next thing, after they start laughing, it says, but he put them all out. That's right. He kicked them out. He said, it's time to step. Get out, okay? He put them out of the house. And what was he doing in that moment? Was he being mean? No, he was putting doubt out, putting negativity out. He was getting rid of anything in the area. He was getting rid of anything in the atmosphere that would prevent him from performing the miracle that he knew he was about to do. He had to kick the doubt out. So he told them all to get out. And of course, you read the story, you know the ending of it. And as he put all the doubt out, and he took Peter, James, and John and the mother and father of the little girl, he walked into her bedroom and he grabbed her by the hands and he spoke to her and she arose, okay? Told her to rise from this sleep and she arose from death. Why? Because he put all the doubt out of that house. And I want to just encourage you today, no matter what you're going through, it could be an impossible situation, but it's possible with God. Remember, the Word of God says all things are possible to him who believes, okay? Once again, remember, Jesus told Jairus, hey, ignore what they've said. I'm ignoring it. That's Jesus. He had to ignore it, okay? Ignore the naysayers, ignore the negativity, ignore what you even see in your natural eyes, okay? Because we walk by faith, not by sight. Somebody catch that today, because so many times we get discouraged when we look at the circumstances and we think, oh man, what is going on? But we get discouraged because we're looking with our natural eyes. Ignore what you see, ignore what you hear, and keep on believing. I'm telling you, God's got something great in store for you. Don't let doubt keep you from the promise. Don't let doubt keep you from the blessing that God has in store for you. Ignore it, and ignore it, okay? And just keep on believing. That's the words that Jesus spoke to Jairus, and I believe he's speaking that to you and me today. Ignore what you've heard and just keep on believing. Okay, guys, God bless you. Hope you enjoyed this. And I'm telling you, listen, God's got something good in store for you, and you just continue to kick that doubt out and go after the promise that God has. God bless you guys, and always remember, it's never too late to make your next days your best days.